On the biggest stage in the world, FanDuel's changing the game because sometimes your player gets subbed off and your bet goes with them. Not anymore. With FanDuel's Super Sub, if your player's subbed out, your bet stays in. That's right. If your player leaves the match, your bet continues on with the substitute. So you're still in it until the final whistle. Visit FanDuel.com. Get started now. Let there be goals this summer on FanDuel.
21 plus select states for Kansas in affiliation with Kansas Star Casino. 18 plus DCKYWY. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 1-800-MY-RESET. 888-789-7777. Visit ccpg.org/chat. Connecticut. Visit mdgamblinghelp.org. Maryland. Visit gamblinghelplinema.org. Call 800-327-5050. Massachusetts. Call 877-8-HOPE-NY. Text HOPE-NY in New York. Call 877-770-7867. Louisiana.
Visit FanDuel.com. Get started now. Let there be goals this summer on FanDuel.
Listen, all you New Yorkers. Taxi. Okay, we're looking around.
This is the 77 WABC minicast.
Had a little news story that came in yesterday, I think it was. Our little mall, we have a mall here in Greenville, South Carolina, and a shooting. Yawn. A shooting. Why wouldn't there be? Why wouldn't there be a shooting? You'd think Greenville, South Carolina, great place. I moved here a couple of years ago. I searched. I really did a lot of legwork. About a year with realtors. Oh, God, realtors. Driving around with blonde, bubble-headed blonde women that are a little too old to be as flirty as they are. Those are realtors in giant caddies or Lincolns like the old days. You want to ride with me or follow? I'll follow you. 1,000 miles an hour down every side street. Then they got to tell you about everybody that bought a house from her. And I had to go through all that. I took a little tangent there. But I had to go through all that because I could not take being in New York anymore. Just couldn't do it. The crime, you pay taxes where you'd think the streets should be paved with gold. And they're not even paved. And I decided Greenville, South Carolina, that's the place for me. Peaceful, neighborly, southern, still on the East Coast. So it's not that hard. I still have friends and family in New York, so I fly up there. It doesn't take long at all. And the past, year or so, downtown Greenville, there was a stabbing and fights. And then just yesterday, I guess it was, a shooting at the mall. And, yes, someone was arrested. Someone that was compelled to look at the weather, I guess, that morning, when they woke up. And seeing that it was 93 degrees out, we're in a bit of a heat wave on the East Coast, decided to put a long-sleeve wool hoodie on and shoot up the mall in Greenville, South Carolina. That's what's going on down here. Look, I understand. It isn't happening on a daily basis like it is in some of the large cities around the country. New York City, of course, Chicago, L.A., Detroit, Baltimore, Atlanta, D.C. I could go on and on and on and on. But when you move somewhere to get away from that, literally to get away from it, I was taking the Long Island Railroad in to Manhattan every day, and the second that train pulls into Penn Station, you're on red alert. Red alert. There was just a stabbing in Penn Station. I spoke about that on this very program last week. The second you get off that train, if you don't have your head on a swivel and your legs and feet ready to move, you're not doing what you need to do. Your survival instincts are gravely lacking. And don't let anyone tell you I'm being paranoid and this isn't happening. And it is. It is. So, you know, a lot of people would like to move away from some of the places they're in, these cities, and they can't. They can't move away. Kids are in school. They have a job that they cannot relocate that makes them good money. There's just a litany of reasons that people have for not being able to leave. God bless. I was able to leave. And I did. And I did my homework, and I wanted to find a peaceful place that's nice people. And I look at my my X account, and people are just sending me the link. Hey, Anthony, what happened? What happened to your wonderful Greenville, South Carolina? I see on Main Street on the weekends there's fights, and there was a shooting at the mall, and I go, I don't know what to tell you. I would love if there was a single place in this country to move to where we do not have to deal with that, with the non-stop crime and violent crime. You know, years ago, when I was a kid, I always got the impression, I guess through cartoons, that crime was a guy, he had a mask on over his eyes and a hat, and he was dressed in black, and he'd go through your window, or he'd go into a bank vent, and he'd come out with a black bag with a dollar sign on it. Yeah, I don't know why a criminal, in hindsight, would put a money sign on his bag that he's putting the goods into, but that's what I thought it was. And it seemed like, we're all asleep. Cat burglars, we heard about that. They'd sneak into people's houses while they slept, and they were so quiet that people never even woke up. They just walked around like a cat, and they took your valuables. I'm looking for your valuables, sir. And again, that was years ago, and when I was a kid, and that was my impression of crime and people getting stuff stolen from them. The truth of the matter is, the crime we have in 2026 is violent crime, deadly, violent crime. And there is a segment of society perpetrating a lot of it, a whole lot of it. And it does not seem like the people in power, the people that are responsible for the protection of the citizens, from Donald Trump as president right down to a damn dog catcher in your town. They have been given the job of keeping you relatively safe. No one could do that 100%, but that's their job. And no one wants to say what needs to be said. No one wants to do what needs to be done. I bring up Mayor Brandon Johnson in Chicago constantly. There are murders every single week going on. The weekends are double jeopardy, where you can kill twice as many people. That's Chicago. This guy's the mayor. It's his job as the boss of the Chicago Police Department to do whatever needs to be done to protect the people. And every week, like so much cordwood, bodies get stacked up.